Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to give a quick update on my 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Over the years I've made a lot of videos about this car showing different upgrades and things I've done to it, and sometimes I get comments asking if I still have this car and how things have been working with it. So the answer is yes, I still have this car obviously, but not for long as I'm actually going to be selling it pretty soon. So there's been no major issues with this car. I've kept up with all the maintenance and everything. Everything's been working fine. The only thing I've really changed over the years is this iPad. When I originally installed this system in 2016, I used an iPad Air 2, and over the years, because the car would keep the battery charged at 100% all the time, it ended up wearing out the battery, and the battery wouldn't hold a charge anymore. So if I didn't drive the car for a day or two, the battery inside the iPad would die down to zero. So when I would go to drive the car, it would take a lot of extra time for the iPad to recharge itself and boot up and get everything kind of working again. So around 2020, I decided to replace it with a newer iPad. I ended up getting the iPad 6th generation, which was the last of the 9.7-inch screen size that fits this dash kit. And to prevent this issue from happening again, I found a jailbreak tweak that would allow you to set a custom charge limit on the battery. So instead of it being charged at 100% all the time, I would usually keep it around 80, and sometimes I'd cycle it down to 40 or 60% just to keep the battery kind of active and charging and discharging a little bit more often. And since I've done that, I've had no major issues with the battery losing charge anymore. I mean, it's still going to slowly drain, but now it can last a few weeks in standby instead of a few days. It is limited to iOS 14 because that's the last version that is kind of compatible with the jailbreak tweaks that I have on here. And of course, some of the apps no longer support the older version of iOS, but Google Maps and Spotify and iMessage and the things that I typically use in the car here all work perfectly fine, so I've had no real issue to worry about upgrading the iOS. I also installed a backup camera and replaced the factory mirror with one that has a screen built in. That's been working fine. I also installed a dash cam. Have had no issues with that. It's really just been a great car all these years, but I think it's time to move on. So I have about 131,000 miles on the odometer, and like I said, the car still drives great. There's no issues with it, but I've always had a dream of owning a Tesla. And that was really how this whole dash project began. It was basically trying to find a way of putting a large touchscreen as my main interface, just like the Teslas had back then. The Model 3 is very similar in size and shape to this car, and in 2024, Tesla made some great updates to the Model 3, but it was a little bit more than I wanted to spend on a new car. But then in June 2024, the $7,500 EV tax credit was restored for the Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive, and with that, I decided it was the perfect time to buy one. So actually tomorrow, I go to pick it up, and assuming everything works well and there's no major issues with it, I'll accept the delivery, and then at that point, I'll be able to sell this vehicle. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to revert all this stuff back to stock and then sell all these parts off separately, or ideally, I'd like to just try and sell it with everything as is if I can find the right person that would appreciate all this. Because this is not the setup for grandma or some person that, just doesn't care about technology. They're going to hate all this. But a college kid or some tech enthusiast like me, they would really love all this. And I think it actually adds value to the car with all these extra features that it normally wouldn't have. So I think I'm just going to list everything as is, so stay subscribed to my channel because I'll probably post another update, or I might even make another video maybe kind of showing off some of the features of this car to prospective buyers. So yeah, thank you for all your support over the years. As I've made these videos, I appreciate all the comments people have left, and I love hearing about others, how you've used my videos to inspire you to upgrade the systems in your car or something similar. So with that, I thank you for watching and have a great day.